Do you want to increase your intuitive abilities and know each time when you make a decision, you know you're going the right way because your intuition is telling you, right? So stay tuned with me because by the end of this video, you're going to find out how to connect with your intuition every single time and know the next step without fail. Hi, my name is Kelly and I love helping people find clarity and direction in life. Now, for the best tips for relationship mindset and spiritual advices, stay tuned with me and subscribe to my channel, hit the like and also hit the notification button so you can be notified of my new video every Wednesday. So before my intuition came, I always made plans and I had goals and the SMART goal and all that kind of stuff. And I never seemed to make it. I never seemed to reach my goal. Even if I did, I wasn't quite that happy. And the thing was, I was lacking this intuitive ability, right? Being able to tune into myself and actually get clear on what I really wanted. I thought I wanted that goal, but is it really connected to my heart, my feelings, and is it even the direction that I really want to go and reach, right? So when I developed my intuitive abilities, the deeper I went, the further I realized I was moving away from the direction that I really need to go. And my direction was actually this way. So being able to develop this intuition really got me closer to my purpose, my direction in life, my love in life, everything that I harnessed and wanted in life. Being intuitive allowed me to do that. Right? So I'm going to show you how you can increase your intuitive abilities so you can get the goals and dreams that you're really destined to get in this lifetime. So tip number one is about quieting your mind. You know, we're always constantly so busy work and making appointments, picking up the kids, cooking, what's for dinner, what's for lunch, where we're going today. There's so many things happening in our lives. Hence, we can't hear our intuition quite as well as we need to, right? So being able to quiet your mind is the first thing that you need to do. And simply by doing breathing exercises like count exercises and slowing that breathing down, the slower it is, the better, right? And the calmer you become. And that's when you start hearing yourself more. And I'm talking about doing meditations as well. I'm talking about even yoga helps, right? Being able to center yourself and focus on each move. And these are the few things that actually help quiet the mind. So you stop the chit-chatting, you stop people talking in your ear, you stop the thoughts that are clouding your mind about meetings, your deadlines, and all those things that are happening. So you know what? So you can start hearing yourself more and you start removing all the fog and, friction in your mind. You'll start to hear yourself more because you actually have intuition within you, within us all the time. But it's just the fact that you don't know how to differentiate which one is which yet. And when you quiet the mind, the louder and clearer you can hear your intuition. And the next tip number 2, is about being able to differentiate what is what. This is the challenging part, right? So we've got few parts playing here. We've got the ego mind, which is the conscious mind. Then we've got our emotions, like sometimes we feel fear and frustrated, and also the intuitive mind, right? And so what happens here is we get them mixed up. Sometimes we think it's our intuition, sometimes we think it's our ego, sometimes it thinks like it's our emotion coming up, and sometimes we have made decisions in the past thinking that it's intuition, right? And it doesn't work out. Hence, we decide not to follow it anymore and we disregard it. But the fact is being able to differentiate what is what, right? So here, I'm going to give you a few points here. When it's the ego talking, your ego is very loud, very rowdy, very inner critic, right? So you can hear like sentences or verses like, don't worry about it, you'll be fine. Oh, don't be stupid. Oh, we'll be right. Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, don't be silly, And those are the ego mind going for it, right? And also you hear stuff like, just do it. You'll be right, and gearing you on. But it's so loud that it kind of disregards that little quiet voice, that intuitive voice that goes like this. Your intuitive voice is very quiet most times and very calming. So you'll hear stuff like, it'll work out, just stick to your heart. right? It's very pleasant, very quiet. You won't need that. It's not screaming in your head telling you, something is not right and just go for it, right? And also, if it's the emotional side that's coming up, you'll feel things like fear, feeling scared, you feel anger, you're frustrated. And when you make decisions with ego and emotions, too over emotions like frustration, fear, and all that side of things, you don't seem to make the right decision because it's actually not your intuition in play. It's actually your emotions, and emotions come from your past experiences, right? Things that have happened in the past and it got you triggered this time and you're reacting to the situation. That's where your emotions are coming from. But when it's your intuition speaking to you, it's normally coming from the heart space, and it's coming from a space where they want you to go to the right direction, and it's very calming, very relaxing. I know it can be quite confusing, but when you're able to start assessing yourself and really differentiate the three, you'll start to understand what is what. And it did take me a while to get this clear as well. However, this takes me to the next tip. Now, tip number three. Tip number three is about practice, right? And it's taken me a while to do this practicing as well. And it doesn't happen in one day. So being able to practice and start being aware of what's really happening in your mind is the key, right? So first thing is, be aware of how your ego mind talks, right? Your conscious mind is telling you to gear you on, putting yourself down, your doubts, and, convincing you that you should go for it anyways. Be aware of that type of conversation happening in your mind, and also the emotions that are happening, when you gear yourself up, it's like, yeah, this emotion, this, and when you're feeling anger and you're sad or whatever happening, just being aware of how your thinking is. And also, this quiet voice is often that smallest part within you that's trying to speak to you, which is the softest. And start to be aware of that soft voice inside of you that's trying to talk to you. And start being aware and start noticing this soft, peaceful, calming voice, because that is the voice you want to develop and make it louder, right? So practice on that. And I want you to try today, because it's always there. Intuition is always with you. You just need to tap into it. You need to start listening to the inner voice, start listening to your intuition, and being able to hear what it's trying to tell you. And the more you practice on that, the more you get clarity, the more you build your intuition abilities. Comment below if you're getting a little confused of what I'm talking about or how to differentiate what is what that's happening in your mind. And I'll make another video just on this topic. Now, tip number 4. Tip number 4 is about testing it out. Right? I want you to test it out. I want you to test your abilities out. Sometimes when, for example, have you had this insight, and it's almost like energy working as well. Like you keep thinking about someone going to call you and you feel like that someone has just messaged you, and you pick up, oh, look, there's a message from that person or that someone, right? And it's there, and it's a sensation or a feeling that you've got that gave you that message, right? And you pick up, oh, great. And you can practice on that and test it out. So if you sense someone's not right, for example, someone's sitting in front of you and it's your friend and they're saying everything is going right, everything's so well, but you sense something's not right, then prompt it. Prompt the, hey, I know you say everything's going so well, then how's it really? I feel that something's really happening at the deeper level, or I feel like something's more happening. Is that true? And the fact that when they come out to you about something, you tested it, and that's a real sensation that you just felt. And that can go for anything, about a job and about an event, about a project that you're working with. Just test it out. Go test your intuitive abilities. And the more you test, the more you practice, the better and closer you get to tuning into yourself to get that clarity and the real thought and things that are happening within you to guide you to the right directions. And the thing is, once you start getting that intuitive ability within you and strengthen that, you start to get messages or insights of where directions that you need to go, right? And that's what you want to do, making better decisions and going the right direction every single time. And tip number 5. Now, tip number 5 is about believing, right? This is very challenging one, because sometimes it goes against what you really think, your belief systems, or the things that you've learned throughout your life, and things that people are saying to you. It can go against the grain, but how you feel sometimes is really how you feel. And I'm not talking about your emotion, about your sadness, guilt, and frustrations. I'm talking about the intuitive side, that quiet side of your mind. And it could be going against the grain. And for you to actually believe in that inner voice of yours, to actually follow it, right? And sometimes it may feel like you're going the wrong direction, right? Because there's no path, there's no logical path where this path is actually really going. It's just a feeling and a sensation that you have that, you know what, I don't want to be here doing this thing anymore. I want to go here, and following it and believing it and trusting it, right? And it could take you tomorrow to your destination that you need to go, or it'll be in a few years' time. It could be anything, but it starts from here. Right? It's taking you A, B, C, D to Z, following your intuition every single time, and all the way will get you to the direction that you need to go. But you need to first believe it and trust in it. That is how you feel and sense a situation. And when you do, I promise you, is the most amazing feeling, because it's actually getting you closer to where you want to be. And actually, every time you follow your intuition, it's actually successful, right? And and just following that, and be true to yourself and believe in it. When you put all these tips together, you're able to increase your intuitive abilities. And that is so important if you really want to make decisions on the spot to get you to the directions that you want to go to. For real, right? Not just a push and shove and ego mind driving you to one direction. This is to your heart. And following that actually leads you to the right directions, and I want you to test it out. I want you to practice on it. I want you to believe in it, right? Because it's real, it's true, and test it out for yourself, right? However, if you feel like there's something stopping you from moving forward, and you've done so many things and so many efforts, so many methods to get yourself out of a situation, and you still feel like you're stuck, in the description below, I have a guided coaching session that I use with my clients that have amazing results. I want you to have it for free, right? So go to the link below and just download your own copy to find out what's holding you back from moving forward. So if you like this video, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and be sure to share it with your friends. And for now, have a lovely day, and I'll catch you guys next time.